Okay. Okay, just making sure the stream was off on my end so I don't hear myself. Perfect. Okay. Woo. Hello, Internet. It's Creepy Book Club time. I'm hoping we get some Creepy Book Club people here. This is always the most fun part. I can see the live stream. Also to my left, it's wigging me out a little bit. Hey, Mindy. Hey, Marielle. Des. Welcome, welcome. I hope, hold on. Something on my glasses. Trying out Saturdays for live streams. Kind of worked out because we had to reschedule Does This Offend You for yesterday. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just push Creepy Book Club back, but we'll see how Saturday does because it's the weekend, kind of. And I get a lot of people in different parts of the world, though, so it's always interesting to see what time it is everywhere else. But hopefully you guys had a good week / having a good weekend. I haven't heard any fireworks, but if you hear anything that sounds like fireworks in the background, it's very possible that that might happen this evening, although it's 9 p.m. and I feel like if they haven't started now, I don't know if we're going to have fireworks this weekend. I hope not. Hopefully you guys are doing well, and hopefully some people in here have read the Hacienda for June. I hope so, because I really want to talk about this one. I really, really, really want to talk about this one. I'm waiting at the airport in Hawaii to go back home. Wow. Dang. You go just for fun, like vacation, or? That's exciting. I'm going to go to Hawaii. And probably just stay indoors with like a nice view of the beach, which would just be like not the way to do it. But I'm going to pop out the chat so I don't see me moving in my side periphery. Hold on. There we go. Okay, we're just going to cover myself up there. Hey, there we go, because it's wigging me out a little bit. All right. I don't have a game. I don't have a game yet for fun vacation. Oh, that's nice. I'm glad. That's awesome. And then hopefully this will just kill a little bit of time waiting in the airport for you. Because I know that can be not fun. But yeah, I don't have a game for this evening. I didn't get one together. I can't really like figure out what games are like good to play for Creepy Book Club. I don't know. I guess I could just do horror movie trivia, but I mean, we're here to talk about books, so I don't know. So I guess we can just get right into it with the Hacienda. I'm gonna say it right every single time, hopefully. I did listen to the audiobook for this one too, because I wanted to to hear the pronunciations, and there's 2 narrators for both POVs, which was really nice. All good, Jacques. All good. Don't gotta be right on time. It's okay. So, I mean, initial thoughts right off the bat. What did we think? Like, what were you like it? You thought it was okay? I was trying to skim through some of the reviews online before the live stream just to kind of see like what the internet was saying about it, but I know it was like kind of prominent around, I think, book of the month. This was like an option to get, I think. And where I work at Barnes & Noble, it was the Discover pick for May, I believe. So it's usually like a new author, like their first kind of like big overall liked it, but oh no. Found it underwhelming? Oh no. Well, this is going to be an interesting discussion because I really liked it. Can I say the names of the characters? My accent is not going to be even close, but so have Beatriz, and Andrés. Probably said that wrong. Got it from Book of the Month. Nice. Okay, well, I'm excited to get into what the butt means for Des here. And found it underwhelming. Okay, I'm excited to hear it because I really liked it. Maybe it's also because I was listening to it, so I feel like it was like getting my adrenaline going a little bit. But so I mean, oh hi Ashley, I liked it. Forgot to get it during her. It's okay. Okay, I got the claps of approval. Thank you. I was very much paying attention. I was hoping the narrators pronounced it correctly because I have seen it doesn't seem like a super common issue, but I have seen authors like on TikTok and stuff talk about how like narrators for their audiobooks say the character names wrong. Although granted, it's usually like in fantasy books that I see authors talking about this. So I don't know, like these are not like names in a fantasy book. These are like real names. But I was hoping. Thank you, Terry. Okay, I want to. Sorry, like I have like kind of like little discussion prompts here, but I want to hear why Marielle found it underwhelming. Not to put you on the spot, but I genuinely want to know because like most of the reviews I saw were like pretty positive, so I want to hear like some other opinions. And Des, I want to know what the butt is. Overall liked it, but what? I want to know. I want to know. You feel pressured? Yeah, it's like I'm not sorry. I don't mean to like put you on the spot or anything. It's okay that if you found it underwhelming. I'm just curious. I mean it out of curiosity, not to put you on the spot. Or if you know, just to like I don't know what was under like I just want to know. The romance was not compelling and got in the way of a good story. Huh. That was interesting. Yeah, I didn't think it was I guess until like the end. I didn't have that same feeling. I didn't feel like it got in the way for me because like Andres is a priest. So like for the most part, it's kind of just like yearning a little bit because he's like feels like he, can't do anything. And also Beatriz is married. So so it was like a lot of yearning, which to me felt kind of appropriate for like a gothic style novel, but just felt kind of rushed. The horror element was a bit brushed over. I feel like it could have been more developed. Felt like the romance novel had a random haunted house. Really? Okay. It's interesting because I just like I saw it completely differently. To me, I felt like the romance was kind of just like, oh, okay, it's like it's there, but I was like really into the haunted house aspect. So that's interesting. My review of the book was hereditary. Hetero don't. That's so interesting but yeah, I like completely like had the opposite take. That's really interesting. The yearning on maybe I mean, I feel like I'm used to like yearning in novels though, because a lot of the like classic sapphic novels are like a lot of yearning. To me, that feels very gothic, though. Like for a gothic novel, I feel like the romances are never like super duper overt. It's really just a lot of yearning, because a lot of gothic novels usually involve uh, a man who's been married multiple times and has like his wife locked away in an attic or something like that, right? Or his like late wife. A lot of setting up and not enough payoff. I was expecting a gothic romance, so maybe that's why I didn't mind the romance. I didn't to me it felt secondary. So like as I was reading it, it felt secondary, but it was like really interesting to see how you guys like had a completely opposite experience, which is really cool. But we bear through it because it's sapphic. But she's married and he's a priest. They can't just like go at it. That's interesting though too, because I mean, yeah, as Mariel pointed out too, like we're used to it in certain types of novels. Interesting. That's interesting. I mean, for the time period too, it definitely I don't know if that's a spoiler alert or not, but yeah. Okay. So, I mean, I do have a couple of prompts just to get the discussion going. I feel like we already we already cracked into it though, so I love it. I was not expecting a dual like POV. I thought it was just going to be from Beatrice's point of view. But I ended up really like, not gonna lie, I kind of like Andrés more as a character. I thought his story was super duper interesting. Like the fact that he's, I mean, I guess essentially a witch. That's just what we're gonna call him, I guess. That goes into the priesthood basically kind of just like to hide and just to kind of like cover his heritage, I guess, which was super interesting. And seeing like the use of both in the like battling of this haunted house, I thought was really cool. I ended up liking his his chapters a little more than Beatrice, even though that Beatrice is where like most of the scary stuff is happening. Yeah, me too. I agree. It took me long to realize there were two POVs. Did you read it or listen to it? Because I think the chapters start off with it, I think. Yeah, there was two narrators in my audiobook that I had. So it was like they had a male voice and a female voice, so it was easy to to just kind of like listen, and it was a little easy to follow along. I love when they do that. Not that either of the narrators were bad at doing the other voices, but it's always nice. But it was just funny though. I like that. Not that Beatrice was a bad character. I still liked her character, but when does the novel use the Spanish language? I mean, there's definitely a lot of like words in here in mine that's mostly in English. But that's also why I wanted to listen to the audiobook. I also think Andres was better written, which is kind of problematic. That he was written better? It was problematic that he was written better, or you thought Andres was problematic as a character? I'm curious. I hate that there's a delay. I wish there's no delay. Yeah, do you think the character is problematic, or the fact that he was better written than Beatrice? Very curious. I did like her character too. I thought for the most part. I thought like his character was given more attention. Yeah, the summary definitely does not let on that that there's like two main characters, really, is what's happening. It was really interesting. But I guess I don't know if I would have been sitting here saying that it was like your typical gothic novel, though, if it was only from Beatrice's point of view, because it would have felt like so many other gothic novels. I don't know if I would have felt that way if we didn't have the additional point of view. I would be interested to know what I would have thought if his point of view was not in it at all. Found Beatriz and Juana's dynamic interesting at the beginning, but then we never heard from her again until the very end. She's evil, crazy woman. Yeah, she kind of just pops up every now and then, and I think it like I don't want to say like she gets away with it because she doesn't go near the house ever, and a lot of stuff that's happening is in the house. And Juana, because she knows, is staying away from the house, and that means her character is kind of not there for a lot of it. Although, would that have given it away from Juana also? Oh, Paloma? I'm trying to remember. Paloma. I'm so glad I turned to a page that happened to mention her right off the bat. That would have been an interesting POV. I don't know if I necessarily would have wanted one from Juana, because I don't know if like that, because her character, I mean, obviously she's like crazy, like she's out here killing people. But I don't think she was like crazy in the like her mind was fractured kind of way. So I don't know if we would have been able to get away with not knowing that she had something to do with this from her point of view. But Paloma would have been an interesting one because she, has to be in the house like literally all the time. Poor girl, honestly. Poor girl. Okay, I guess since we brought up Juana, thoughts on the fact that she was the killer? I keep thinking of it in terms of a gothic novel. So, like in that sense, I feel like it was an interesting twist in general that it was a human doing this and the ghost really had nothing to do with anybody dying. It almost felt like a gothic haunted house like cliche turned on its head, where it's like the ghost isn't trying to warn Beatrice. The ghost isn't trying to get revenge on Rodolfo. Even though Rodolfo is still a piece of shit. The ghost of the former Doña, I'm trying to remember what her name is. My brain is telling me like Carolina or something like that, but I don't think that's right. Catalina, I'm sorry. Maria Catalina. Like she was fucking with Beatrice because Beatrice was the new wife, and that was it. I feel like in any other gothic novel she would have been like, it would have been Rodolfo who murdered her and she was trying to warn Beatrice. And so I liked like in an overall sense that it was not that. Rodolfo's full name. If I can find it in the book, I will attempt it. Hold on. I'm going to start kind of like right at the beginning here. Whilst I read your comments, I will see if I can find his full name. It's got to be at the beginning of the book somewhere, right? They do say it. I just keep saying Rodolfo. I can't say it. The audiobook, when they find his name written all over the wall in blood, the way the narrator read it, you know, like when you say a word so many times and it starts to like sound weird and lose its meaning. So every time I say the word Rodolfo, I just like I hear it on repeat in my head and it just sounds weird. Unless you can find it, Mariana, and you want to, or sorry, not Mariana, Marielle. Thinking Catalina, Marielle, Maria. When did they say his full name? Nope. I genuinely couldn't even like tell you his. I don't even think I can I remember like even his last name. I feel like they hardly ever say it. I don't know if they say his full name anywhere in the. Sounds like the opposite of Crimson Peak. I thought it was going to be easier to find his full name in here. I'm like, oh, no, okay. I think that's his last name, but that's not his full name. I don't know. I thought it was going to be easier to find. I was genuinely going to try it. Literally all the names that are jumping out at me are Juana and Beatriz. And Tia Fernanda. And the word Doña. Okay, I can't find it. I am 51 pages in and I can't find it. I don't know where it is. I don't know where it is. If I find it later on, Marielle, I will record myself trying to pronounce it just for you. And I'll like put it in the Discord or something. Oh, thank you. Why did I think his name was longer than that? I was like looking for like 5 or 6 words. Oh no, I don't remember them saying that second to last word. I don't know if I want to attempt it now. Don Rodolfo. I got that one. I don't remember. I'm trying to like pull anything from my brain from the audiobook. And they said his last name so many times and now I'm completely blanking on how they said it. Eligio. Did I get that one right? That is a hell of a name. Don Rodolfo Eligio. I'm trying to is it just Solorzano? That's probably not right. I'm trying to remember. Solorzano. I'm trying to remember how did they say it in the audiobook? Oh my god. My brain. He's got quite the name. Rodolfo, I feel like is even hard for me to say. Solorzano. So that emphasis is on the lore. Got it. Solorzano. It's the repetition. The amount of times I was like, Hacienda. It's like, I'm going to say it right. I was even doing it at work too. If I had to find the book or if I was recommending the book, I was like, I'm going to say it correctly. I'm going to make sure. Okay. So Sorry, I did see your comment, Des. Both Juana and Beatriz are trying to secure their place in a patriarchal society. I'm so glad you mentioned that. Yeah, Beatriz married a monster. Juana killed one. Yeah, I thought that piece was really interesting. I mean, Beatriz like kind of makes sense. Like, I mean, her background, it's like we get it. I mean, and I like the her like thought process. Like whenever she thinks about Rodolfo, it's like right off the bat, like she doesn't like hate him, but she's like, like she's attracted to what he can give her, which is like autonomy, kind of, or at least as much autonomy as she can get in this patriarchal society, which is better than her situation prior to marrying Rodolfo at the time. And if he wasn't such a dick and keeping her mama's letters from her, then she would have had even more autonomy without having to deal with this stupid house. But then, yeah, I thought Juana's motivation was interesting because she's after the same thing. Like she's after the autonomy that she has on this huge ranch. Because I mean, I would imagine, like right when the book starts, they get to San Isidro and Rodolfo immediately leaves again. So I imagine that's how it is all the time. And Juana's used to just running the show essentially while Rodolfo's not there. So she's after the autonomy that brings her also. And if he has a wife come into the picture, then that's going to be who's in charge. They're technically like above her. And the fact also that, it's not like super duper, they don't go into super duper detail, but she's only like half siblings with Rodolfo, I think. Mariel, I like when I tell you, that's why I got the audiobook. I was like, I'm going to hear all the names. I'm going to say them correctly. They're such nice names to listen to too. They're very pleasing to the ear, and I'm so white, and I say them so white, and I do apologize for that. But I did try really hard to make sure I said them correctly. It would just sound wrong to call her like Beatriz or something like that. Like that just doesn't sound right. But yeah, I thought it was, I was trying to bring up that. There we go. Yeah, so I like, yeah, it's like Beatriz and Juana were San Isidro. Their motivations were essentially the same. That's why I kind of liked the reveal that Juana was the killer, even though obviously it's terrible. I was cheering when she killed Rodolfo though, because he deserved it. And honestly, the Doña Catalina also deserved it. She was also in the flashbacks we got. She was also a piece of shit. So I was kind of cheering for her. I didn't want her to hurt Beatriz though, because I liked her. Book sounds like a novella recap. There's definitely a lot of drama. But I also liked at the end, just speaking of the house itself, because we kind of assume if we usually in haunted house stories, when you figure everything out, you figure out what the ghost is trying to tell you and you bring it to light. And so now everybody knows. Then the house is magically not haunted anymore. Nothing's wrong. But I like that they kind of leave in there that there's still there's still spirits in the house. The house is still kind of alive in a sense, but it's not malignant anymore. like it was. So I kind of like that it wasn't just like the house is just like magically like bright and warm and inviting now, but it still has its past attached to it. It's just not harmful anymore. Which I liked. I really liked that. I thought that was a nice touch at the end. It was like maybe a minor touch, but I really enjoyed that piece. Liked how they dealt with colorism. Yes, that was a huge part. I mean, not only for Beatrice's character, because she has a darker complexion, especially compared to Rodolfo's first wife, Catalina, which as soon as they get to town, somebody has to mention that, like right off the bat. But also because of her mother's side, I think she still has some like status in society, even though they're talking about like the what's it called, like the casta system. Even though it's like broken down at this point in the book, it's still obviously like, just because a politician kind of like wipes away something like, okay, we're not going to do this anymore, it doesn't like immediately wipe it from society. So people still act under this system. Is a really interesting dynamic, and part of the reason why Catalina, not part of the reason, like almost the whole reason why Catalina was such a bitch. Love the scene of the silk dress with the blood. Ugh. Oh. Everything after that too. I loved the like the gaslighting of her too, and the reveal of that also. Like I was like how dedicated Juana was, and Ana Luisa, who she kind of got to be in on this, were into kind of terrifying her and to just making her think she's going crazy and that the house is, whatever's going on. Like they literally dug up Catalina's bones and put them in the wall, and ugh. Ugh. But I thought there were some interesting bits in there that, like, I don't want to say like elevate it, but they just take it in a different direction than like the typical Gothic novel, which I enjoyed, because I tend to read a lot of things that are like of the, sorry about the door chime. I don't know why we're opening the door 5 million times. If that's what that chiming is, I'm gonna have to find a way to. This straight up reminds me of, well, it is a novel. It is a novel. Absolutely is. Absolutely is. I don't know if that's what you meant to write, Jock, but yeah, but I enjoyed that piece. I thought it was a little bit different. I just loved, thank you for sharing. I'm sorry you didn't like it as much, Marielle or Des. But I love that you guys like saw it a completely opposite way. That's why I love having these discussions. Oh no, novellas, like telenovelas. I gotcha. I gotcha. I mean, I feel like that's like all Gothic novels though. Like they're very, it's always up on the dramatics. That's like it's like Gothic novels. Every time I think of them, I think of like kind of like the like falling onto the bed and distress and yearning and all that, like especially the characters' exaggerated long names. They do. It makes their names more interesting, I guess. Definitely makes the names a little more interesting, but oops, I didn't mean to close the comments. Oops. But yeah, I quite enjoyed it. What did you guys rate the book? If you guys do book ratings, I don't know. Also reminds me of a horror film called Even the Wind is Afraid. I love that title. I'm gonna look that up right now. Even the wind is afraid. The title instantly. It's on Tubi. In a boarding school, the damned soul of an old student possesses a young woman's body. Oh. Well, that also sounds pretty gothic. I mean, if it's in a boarding school, immediately gothic vibes. The forbidden love with the priest. It only really gets like I don't even want to call it spicy, but I was kind of just like, ooh, like it just felt spicy because he's a priest. Um, at the end, but I mean, I don't know. I thought it was kind of a nice ending. Like I feel like I probably would have maybe felt a little similarly about the romance had they gotten like the like mega happy ending where they not only do they figure everything out and everything's all right again and Beatrice isn't gonna go away for murder or whatever, um, and they end up together and he like leaves the priesthood and they get married or some crap like that. But I like that she's ultimately like, even though they figured everything out, like she just still kind of like she still kind of can't be near the house. But she still technically owns it. So she, tries to, I guess, give some agency back to the people that actually work on the ranch and is ultimately like, though I'm gonna go live with my mom because the whole time too she's like wants to fix up the house for her for her mom, and I just thought that was really sweet. So I like that at the end she's yeah, I love the idea of the house always having spirits and being alive. Thank you, I like the way you put that, being alive. That's a great way to explain it. I really love that. I don't know why, it just felt right, like give it a 1. Aw, I'm sorry. It's like, I mean, don't be sorry for like you giving it a 1.5. That's how you felt about it. There's nothing wrong with the way you feel about it. At first, I thought for sure the forbidden romance was going to be between her and the sister. Oh, that would have been a completely different novel. Can you imagine if everything else was the same, like except like the romance piece, but Juana was still the killer? Interesting. Really? Oh, I didn't clock that at all. At no point I was kind of like, huh. I don't know. I feel like because I guess just to me, Juana felt instantly abrasive, where I was kind of just like, okay. That would have been interesting though. That would have been interesting. Poor Andres. Poor Andres. He went through so much in this book. Come on. I just really liked his character. I don't know what it was. Come to expect queerness in the book. I mean, to be honest though, I feel like that's like a lot of queer I'll say like notions or stuff in books, but sometimes like you just kind of have to pull it out of nowhere if when you can't get it anywhere else. Luckily, we're pretty lucky now that we have so many LGBTQ plus books coming out all the time, like literally all the time now, which is amazing. But yeah, but it's like we can associate certain feelings with that too. Like we started talking about yearning and we're instantly like, yeah, that's like a sapphic notion. Sometimes the books can't have it all, okay? We're trying to go for like diversity in authors and in subject matter, and sometimes you just get one or the other. Then Felix jumping in. Hi, Felix, just to say literally. Welcome, Felix. I gave it a 5 out of 5. I'm really easy to I'm really easy to please with movies and with books, in case you guys haven't noticed. I find rating systems hard, but like everything goes by a rating system. So I'm more like by a feeling. Like I really liked it. I kind of liked it. I didn't like it. Or in like all of the levels in between that. And then like, how do I ascribe that to a number? The half ratings and the quarter ratings on Storygraph kind of help, I guess, but everything goes by like the star ratings or like, the whatever out of 5 or out of 10. I find it difficult to rate things like that. I just feel how I feel about it. So I gave it a 5. I gave it a 5 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. I saw someone on TikTok that was talking about their rating system, and their rating system was such that if they finished the book, it was automatically at least a 3 out of 5, which I thought was a really interesting concept. Like no matter what, if they finish the book, it like starts at a 3 out of 5, and then they might give it a higher rating, I guess, based on how much they liked it. But as long as they finished it, everything's a 3 out of 5, which I thought was really fascinating. Sorry, I got on that little tangent there. Okay, I was about to peel off and ask what else everyone else has been reading this month. I know, right? I thought that was interesting. I thought that was interesting. I was like, I don't think I could do that. But then at sometimes I kind of feel like that's how I rate things sometimes. I'm like, I read it all the way through and I liked it, 5 out of 5. Yeah, and that's also thank you for pointing that out, because yes, we literally all have our own scale and the ratings all mean different things to all of us. Like, my 3 out of 5 could be completely different to Marielle's 3 out of 5 or your 3 out of 5. 1,000%. Like I feel like the all the like apps and stuff like Goodreads, Storygraph, whatever else out there, like have to put it that way. Like it's just like one way to like umbrella. Okay, everybody can like rate it and compare, but it genuinely does mean something to everybody else. Marielle read Clown in a Cornfield. What did you think? What did you think? She's gonna be like, I hated it. I want to know what you thought. Feels so long ago we read that for Creepy Book Club. It was how long ago now? Sorry. I didn't mean to yawn in the middle of that. I read New York, New York, which is a gay romance manga that feels like Bound meets Showgirls. Interesting. New York, New York. I'm going to do the thing where I Google this stuff on the live. Oh, it brought up New York, New York pizza. Well, that sounds great. I want to see the manga. Oh, this looks like is this an older one? Oh, yeah, it is an older one. Originally serialized between 1995 and 1998. Wow. That's kind of cool. I was just curious because like, I could try and get that at work, but the older ones, I'm not really sure, but I can try. Oh, I mean the cover of this right off the bat. Yes. Loved the gore. The gore was like kind of insane, right? I don't know. I don't know if I just felt that way because it's a young adult book, so it's like I guess kind of the book equivalent to PG-13. Even though that's not like a hard and fast rule, but I was so shocked by the amount of gore for a young adult book. Absolutely. Thank you for saying that, Des, because I also had a slow reading month. finished certain Dark Things. I want to know what you thought about that. Dark Harvest, nice. I'm hoping we get that movie. And Hide, which is great because that's an up, not next month's, or sorry, I'm confused. It's July. It's now next month's, but it's August's pick. I'm gonna get everybody confused as well as myself. It's July right now, Vicky. It's July. We're talking about June's pick, and then Des just mentioned August's pick. Yeah, I kind of had a slow reading month also. Like I was in a little bit of a rut. Like I was listening to the Hacienda and like not reading anything else, which I usually at least have another book going normally. So to kind of get myself out of my rut, so to speak, I binged some like graphic novels because that usually tends to help me because they're really quick. So I read House of Slaughter, which is like sorry, the glare. Just hold it at a weird angle. It's like a spin-off of Something is Killing the Children, which is a graphic novel series that I'm into. What's really cool, they're really short. I don't know anything about graphic novels, so I'm like, is this normal sized? I don't know. Highly recommend Something is Killing the Children if you like graphic novels. So I read that one. I read The Amazing Screw-On Head and Other Curious Objects, which Jackie is not in here right now, but sorry, just hit myself in the glasses. She unhauled this and I snagged it from her. She sent it to me. It's by Mike Mignola, who does the Hellboy graphic novels, which I haven't read. And he also does the Baltimore, I think it's called, or Lord Baltimore graphic novel series, which I have read. Look at me talking about graphic novels like I'm an expert. And then I read Amphigory 2. Sorry, the glare is really bad. Amphigory 2. Can't make it go any farther back. Which is just a collection of like little like comics and bits from Edward Gorey. So that helped get me out of my reading rut a little bit. Oh, damn. 10 books in June. Bravo. I cannot be stopped. Read the first 2 Across the Universe books by Beth Revis. I hear these names and I'm like, it sounds familiar. Maybe because I work in a bookstore. So I'm like, I feel like I know this. Did I read this? Wait, I think I've read this. Oh, I think I read this. Yeah, I think I read this a while ago. But I think I just had them as ebooks because I definitely don't have them anymore. Oh my God, I remember these. Yeah, it's like a little like self-contained, like when she, like the main character, sorry, I'm going on a tangent now. She like wakes up in the ship and it's like a little like microcosm, like it's like a self-contained. There's like trees and stuff, and I don't know why I'm remembering that out of everything in the book. They're like literally in space. Yes. And the ship, Godspeed. Oh my God. Oh my God. Sorry. I'm having like just like a little nostalgia moment. I remember reading these. Wow. Okay. Sorry. Just like unlocked something in my brain. Memory unlocked. Got republished. The New York, nice. Coming of age gay manga. Nice. I really like certain dark things. I'm easily pleased. That's why I like talking books with you, Des. I'm both easily pleased. I liked Mexican Gothic that's also by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. So I was interested. I got Nightfire sent me a copy, so I got to get on it. Now I'm reading White is for Witching, and that one gets pretty crazy, I heard, right? It's like a little, I don't know if like the narrator is necessarily like unreliable, but it's like kind of like mind bendy. I don't know if that's accurate. The only other novel I read that wasn't like a graphic novel was Dead Silence. I did finish that. Also, I have it, and then I got the audiobook for it too because I like to listen to it in the car. The narrator for this was like phenomenal. Like so like all the like scary moments, like I don't know, like the way her voice changed and she was like sounded genuinely frightened, which kind of made me genuinely frightened, and it was really it was really fun to listen to. Definitely got my heart racing. I wish I had her name handy, whoever it was that was reading this, but oh my God, was it fantastic. Need to read Mexican Gothic. It would be an interesting follow-up to the to the Hacienda because it's also, I mean, it's in the name. It's also a Gothic haunted house sort of tale. I really enjoyed it. Everyone that has read Dead Silence seems to love it so much. I thought it was really good. Like the concept I feel like is really easy to be scary. Like you're out in space and it's like it's a ghost ship. So it's like think of like the Titanic, but it's out in space. And I don't know, like if maybe everybody else just has we're all having that same fear of like those like big structures underwater. I very much felt that fear in this, even though it was technically in outer space. But it was really scary. I really liked it. Can't wait until I wanted to make sure everyone had the chance to get it because I thought just my little thought process and my little tangent here out of a million this stream. I thought the paperback came out sooner than it did, and they possibly could have changed the date. I thought the paperback was coming out in July. So I was like, okay, I'll make it like the August pick or the September pick or something. So that way the paperback comes out and everybody can get their hands on it. But then they changed I think they changed the date to September. And so it's like, son of a bitch. And it's like the end of September too. So I wanted to make sure everybody had the chance to like get it because at least where I work, I can't order the hardcover anymore. So I don't know if the hardcover would be too hard for people to get their hands on if they wanted a physical copy. So I know. I'm sorry. The hype is through the roof. I'll dial back the hype. Very much. I know it's tough because like, yeah, you really can't say anything without giving anything away, but just try and avoid everything about it, Maria. I will zip my lips about it. You're buying the heart. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's too late now. I already announced it and I don't want to like switch it up and keep moving things around. But I just like, because I can't order it at work anymore. I didn't know if that was the same for other places. Like, I didn't know if it would just be too difficult to get. And I know that was a big concern when I like put out the survey that, making sure it was available in other countries to get at the same time. So I was trying to put some more thought into that when I was picking what we were going to read and when. Okay. But yeah, that's everything I read. Again, yeah, not a lot. I was kind of in a rut and the graphic novels helped me out. Otherwise, it would have just been the 2 books. I guess really quick before we go, in case you didn't see it, our book for July is kind of a short one. When the Reckoning Comes by LaTanya McQueen. I don't want to say this one sounds gothic too, but it takes place on a plantation. So I feel like it's going to be kind of like gothic in its own way. But this one is a little bit of a shorter one. I think it's just over 200 pages. So this should be a fun, like quick little read. You did the right thing. We just have to be patient now. I was trying. I want to get the most amount of people to read that book. That was the end goal. But yeah, I'm really excited to read this too. I saw like so many people have been coming in at work to pick this up like the past couple of weeks. So that was one thing that really made me want to pick it. And then somebody somewhere, one person mentioned it in the the survey that I put out as their suggestion. And I was like, that's all I need. We're reading this one. I just keep seeing it everywhere. So I'm also very excited to read this one. Excuse me. I feel like that's the cue to end the live stream, Vicky. Doing it on a Saturday is fun, but I also work on Saturdays, so. And I ate a lot of pizza right before the live, so I'm also, all the blood is rushing to my stomach now. But if you saw on Instagram and Twitter and on a post here, I did post all of the reads for the rest of the year, so you can save it. I'll post it again somewhere too, so like you guys can like save it or whatever. Maybe I'll make a Google Doc or something you can save with the reads on it so you know what's coming. Thank you guys for coming to this live stream. I really appreciate the discussion. I was really excited to talk about the Hacienda, so I'm glad we got some people that read it. And I'm really excited to read the next one with you guys. So stay tuned for when this live stream will be in about a month's time. Yeah, and I'll see you guys around the internet before then. So thank you guys for coming. Good night. Buenas noches. I had to throw one last one in there. Good night, you guys.